August 12, 1943. In the heart of Nazi-occupied France, a young woman walked alone through the silent streets of Paris. Her name was Claire Dubois, 19 years old, with courage far greater than her years. By day, she worked quietly in a small bakery, serving bread and coffee to German soldiers who never looked twice at her. But by night, Claire became something entirely different, a spy for the French resistance. That night, she carried more than bread. Inside a warm loaf lay a message written in invisible ink that held the location of a secret Nazi weapons convoy. If it reached the resistance, it could change the balance of power in northern France. If it didn't, hundreds could die. The clock read 10:15 p.m. Rain fell softly, tapping on the cobblestones as she made her way down Rue des Martyrs. Every footstep echoed louder than her heartbeat. She knew that one mistake, one wrong glance, one suspicious soldier could mean the end. Ahead, a German checkpoint blocked the street. Two soldiers laughed under the dim light of a lantern. Claire took a deep breath and smiled. Her voice was calm and gentle as she spoke in fluent German. "Bread for the officers," she said. The taller soldier reached out, took the loaf, sniffed it, tore a piece, and handed it back. He smiled lazily and waved her through. Claire nodded politely and continued walking. Inside, her heart was racing, but her face remained calm and unreadable. She turned down a narrow alley where the lights grew dim. Every shadow seemed alive. She knew she was being watched, not by enemies, but by allies hidden in the dark. Resistance members guarded their own in silence. They trusted her, and tonight that trust would mean survival. At the end of the alley stood a small. By the river, it looked closed, but a faint candle flickered in the window. Inside, two men sat at a wooden table. They didn't speak when she entered. Claire placed the bread on the counter and nodded. One of the men picked it up, felt the weight, and smiled slightly. Inside that loaf was the key to an ambush that would cripple the Nazi supply line. For a brief moment, Claire felt the warmth of safety. Then, she turned to leave, back into the rain, back into danger. As she crossed the bridge over the Seine, she saw German trucks rumbling below, the very same convoy she had just betrayed. She paused for a moment, the night wind brushing against her wet hair. Her lips trembled as she whispered, "For France." Then she vanished into the shadows. Hours later, the resistance decoded her message. Before dawn, the Allies received it. And by sunrise, planes were already in the sky. When the German convoy moved out, they never reached their destination. The resistance ambushed them near the village of Melun. Dozens of vehicles were destroyed, the route erased from Nazi control, hundreds of lives saved. But Claire Dubois never returned. Her friends searched the safe houses and the alleys. Nothing, no trace. Some said she was captured. Others believed she escaped to the countryside. But no report, no document, no confession ever mentioned her name again. Months later, Allied forces intercepted a German transmission, a brief note about a young French woman spy who evaded capture in Paris. No name, no photo, just a rumor that she had fooled the Gestapo and disappeared into history. After the liberation of France, an old resistance officer told a journalist she never sought recognition. She only wanted freedom for her people. Years passed, the war ended, the world moved on, but some stories don't fade with time. They live in whispers, in memories, in the quiet corners of history, and hers was one of them. In 1950, a French farmer discovered a hidden box buried beneath a broken wall near Paris. Inside were a locket, a small notebook with resistance codes, and a photograph of a girl wearing a bakery apron, smiling faintly at the camera. On the back were written just two words, "Pour la." For freedom. Historians still debate who she really was. Was her name truly Claire Dubois? Was she one of many nameless spies who risked everything and vanished into the fog of war? We may never know for certain, but what we do know is what she represented. She was one of the countless unsung heroes who fought not with guns but with silence, courage, and heart. She was a symbol of every woman who carried messages, forged documents, hid soldiers, and faced death with steady hands. Her bravery didn't win medals, it won freedom. Today, when we walk through the streets of Paris, past the bakeries and that still stand, we may not see her face, but she's there in every act of quiet courage, in every story left untold. The girl who carried secrets in a loaf of bread, the girl who faced death with a smile, the girl spy who outsmarted the Nazis. She didn't live to see victory, but because of her, victory came sooner. And though her name may have faded from the pages of history, her spirit remains in every whisper of rain, in every flicker of candlelight, in every heart that still believes in the power of courage. This was her story, the story of the girl spy who outsmarted the Nazis.